Welcome to my channel, Mike Texts It Out, and today I'm going to tell you what you get with a $10 a month security system as we tech it out. To preface this, we did have home security before we got the Ring system. We had a slow, feature-lacking, and overpriced security system through our cable company, which I'm not going to mention, but we switched over to the Ring, and here's why. The first thing I want to talk about is the design. So Ring goes with a more modern, sleek design. It's not as sleek as something like the Nest system in my opinion, but it still looks really good. The only knock I really have on the design are the door window sensors are pretty big, and there is a bright blue light that turns red on the main base station, and that kind of just stays illuminated all the time, whether it's armed or disarmed. If it's disarmed, it's blue. If it's armed, it's red. Those are really the only knocks I have for the design. Otherwise, I think it looks pretty stylish. I think it'll fit in most living rooms. They go with an all-white aesthetic. They keep it clean and modern. It's simple. It looks good. There's not much bad to say about it. The next part I want to talk about is the installation. Now, this being a DIY system, it's very important that the installation be simple and straightforward. And I have to say, for the most part, that is true with the Ring system. Almost everything is just peel and stick it wherever you want to. For our system, we got about 8 door window sensors. We have the smoke detector, we have the flood sensor, and we have the panic button. So those are all just like stick it up there, boom, stick it wherever you want to, and then you go into the app, they go into pairing mode, you pretty much pair with the app. The process can be tedious if you have a lot of sensors like we did. That's the only bad thing I say about it, but overall it still took less than an hour to get everything set up. The only exceptions with the equipment that you have to actually mount with screws are the main base station, the keypad, and if you have the stick-up camera, which we did add down the line, you are supposed to mount that as well. The stick-up camera, you can just set on a table or something like that. You don't have to mount it. The base station and the keypads, if you have more than one especially, it is recommended to mount. The only other issue that we ran into with the installation, Jeff set this up on his account, and it did take a while to figure out how to share the security system with me to give me access to it. We had to do a few Google searches, so Ring could do a better job of surfacing that information, but overall I'd say the installation is pretty easy. It's pretty smooth, even for someone that may not be as tech savvy or might not be as good with hardware installation. It's a pretty easy process. Next, let's talk about compatibility. And this is where the Ring shines, especially if you're in the Amazon ecosystem and you have like Echoes or Echo Shows or even like a Fire Stick or a tablet, because they really packed a lot of functionality in with the Ring system. So for instance, you can arm and disarm the system by voice. It does prompt you the first time you try to disarm the system to set up a voice code in the app. So you do have to set up a voice code, but once you set that up, you can easily disarm the system, and it works pretty reliably. It does do that as well with the Google Home, but the Google Home is missing some features that the Amazon allows, such as if you have a video Amazon like the Echo Show, you can pull up your, of course, Ring doorbell camera, but also if you have the Ring stick-up camera, you can pull that up as well directly with voice on the Echo Show or even on a Fire Stick or a Fire tablet. Show me the living room camera.
Okay.
As far as your smart home stuff, it's got a lot of great compatibility. It's also compatible with certain third-party locks and sensors as well. You can check Ring's website for the full list of compatibility. There's not a lot there, but Ring themselves, they offer a pretty comprehensive package of accessories that you can buy with this. So personally, I'm not really worried about it, but if you are worried, like if you have an existing doorbell or something like that that you want to integrate into the system, I definitely recommend checking the compatibility list. I'll put a link in the description below. The next thing I want to talk about is ease of use. And this is very important because a lot of these security systems use an app. This was like a big reason why we switched from our cable company security system, because their app was also horrible. I'm happy to say that the Ring app is great. It uses the same app that you've used for the doorbell if you have one of their doorbells already. It gives you quick options at the top to arm, disarm, for home or away mode. You also have your additional cameras there listed on the home page. So if you have a doorbell like we do, your doorbell's still going to be there to kind of jump in and quickly view videos. And also if you have cameras, it's the same way. The one additional thing that you get with the Ring app that I think is pretty cool is the Neighbors app, which is basically like kind of like a social network, neighborhood watch type of thing, where you can post stuff. You can post safety concerns, if there's a storm, there's some kind of crime going on in the area, and you'll get notifications of stuff that's going on in your area. This can be very helpful, especially if you want to kind of keep an eye on what's going on around you. And of course, other than the app, you can also arm and disarm with the Echo, like we said earlier, or the Google Home. And you can also arm and disarm the system using the keypad. So I think as far as ease of use, it's very easy to use. There's a lot of options to arm and disarm. You can check it easily while you're away from the home and make sure your system's armed. If you want to change the status of it, you can if you forget while you're leaving. So I think Ring does a great job. It's been pretty fast and pretty responsive from when I've used it. And the final thing I want to talk about is value. So for $10 a month, you do get professional monitoring with Ring. In addition to that, you also get unlimited storage for any Ring camera that you have, including the doorbell, for 30 days or 60 days, depending on your region. For the US, it's 60 days. But it's really a great deal considering that we were already paying the $3 a month for the Ring storage anyway. Doing the $10 and then with us adding the additional camera, it really made it worth the value for us. That's really going to depend on if you're in the Ring ecosystem or not. This might be a harder value proposition, especially if you're already paying for another, security monitoring system. For at least for the camera portion of it, it's a little bit of a harder sell. For us, it was a no-brainer. This was a big thing because we're paying about $45 a month for our security system through our cable company. The closest as far as price would be Simply Safe. They offer a plan for $15 a month, but that doesn't include out of the home monitoring. So, and what I mean by that is, yeah, you still get monitoring while you're away from home, but you can't, arm or disarm the system through the app if you're away from home. You basically don't have any access unless you step up to the $25 a month plan. And then you also have Google Nest, which is about $20 a month. If you do a 3-year plan, it's $30 a month. Pretty much a la carte if you pay month by month. So Ring at this point is by far one of the cheapest options you can get for what they offer. Equipment wise, it's also one of the cheapest options. So like a starter kit like this, normal price is around $200. They do have a lot of deals. I've seen this for even around $150, including an Echo Dot, just so you can get that additional voice functionality if you're not already in the Echo ecosystem. Where Nest starts around $399 for their base system, I believe Simply Safe usually starts around $250. With the starting kit for Ring, you get the base station, the keypad, a window door sensor, a motion sensor, and a range extender, just in case your base station or sensors might be a little far away, just to make sure they stay connected. And that's not a bad deal, especially this might be enough for someone that lives in something like an apartment or a small home. We stepped it up to the $350 package that came with 6 sensors, the freeze sensor, the panic button, the smoke detector, our CO2 sensor, and the package that we got with our cable company was still a lot more than what we ended up paying. So when we added the stick-up cam later on, we got it for sale for $125. We did add 2 additional sensors. The price overall was about $550 for the package that we have. Through our cable company with a similar setup, it was close to $1,000. And if you think about, Nest starting price being at $400, and that's just like the base station, 2 key fobs to arm and disarm the system. I think it comes with 2 door sensors. But if you build off of that, and even with Simply Safe, it's like a similar setup. And if you're building off of that, it's still gonna be more expensive than what Ring's offering overall, unless you count some savings and discounts. And again, it's also gonna depend on what ecosystem you're in. If you're in the Google ecosystem, it might make more sense to get the Nest one. And the Nest system is very nice and offers some additional features that the Ring doesn't, like being able to touch the key fob to the base station to arm and disarm. The door sensors are a lot nicer looking. They're a lot smaller. They have more functionality. So that's just some things to look into. This is a lower price system. In my opinion, it's great. Overall, Ring offers an easy to use, comprehensive, easy to set up system. It's very responsive. I accidentally tripped the alarm once and it instantly went off. Luckily we haven't had any other issues, but it seems like so far from what we've had it for about 3 months now, and it's been very reliable. It's easy to recommend to anybody looking for a low price security system. Anyway, tell me what you think. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a coworker, and always do at least 2 things at the same time. Peace.